So what is mental health? It is defined as such, a person's condition with regard to their psychological and emotional well-being. It's how your mind operates, and it shouldn't be forgotten just because there's no clear signs. It matters just as much as your physical health. Sometimes our mind can be our own worst enemy. 1 in 4 people will be affected by mental illness, placing mental disorders among the leading causes of poor health worldwide. We often forget to consider the mental being of others, as it can't be seen. We can't detect what state of mind someone's in.
They could be putting on a mask or faking a smile for me, no. See that dark figure behind them? That's a soul sucker called depression, which holds us back from feeling true happiness.
It tells us we're not good enough and stops us from enjoying the things we love.
You will never be good enough.
Nobody likes what you play.
And in the worst cases, it works alongside the suicide soul sucker, who tells cruel lies to convince us to end our lives. What causes these soul suckers to come along and poison our minds? Abuse, conflict, loss, life changes, social isolation, stress, and more. A personal story, Finding Light. I've always been a nervous person, never anything I couldn't handle. Until I started university, I grew anxious, comparing myself to my classmates. I felt I didn't deserve to be there. I found leading a project stressful. I would become over-emotional when things went wrong. I would sob uncontrollably, terrified of messing up. This caused friction in the group. We would bicker and argue until it became difficult to be part of the group. They went on without me. The isolation was immense. It felt like there was static in my head all the time. I could barely focus. I was having regular panic attacks, 4 to 5 a day, lasting hours. I felt disconnected from everyone and found communicating terrifying. Somehow I was able to finish my course, but life did not improve. Months of feeling isolated, anxious, and a failure led to depression. I felt hopeless. There seemed no way out. I no longer felt creative. Everything felt pointless. I was tired and wanted it to stop. I felt suicidal. Thankfully, this was not an idea that I carried out. I have so much gratitude to everyone at Inspire Hub who helped set me on a path to recovery. Alone, I was falling into the abyss. Another snack for the soul suckers. But with support from services, friends and family, I found a light to keep the soul suckers at bay.
Another personal tale, finding myself. I have experienced a high level of anxiety through my life. My parents split up when I was younger, therefore I had to choose whom to live with when I was very young. I felt an enormous amount of pressure as I didn't want to upset either of them. Looking back now, it doesn't seem as difficult. In school, I experienced a substantial amount of bullying by one boy in particular. It got to the extreme of physical violence. I was an easy target for them, being crumbled by anxiety. I didn't have a voice. In year 11, I found my voice. It was a little one, but it was a voice. I wasn't going to let some immoral tormentor taunt me anymore. I spoke up and they didn't like it, and they eventually backed off. Things started to look up when I met my soulmate in college. He has been a huge part of my recovery from past negative events. He has put a roof over my head when I was homeless, put food in my belly and supported me with money when services wouldn't. I felt depressed for a long time. I could spend hours, days, even weeks indoors, just lying, deteriorating on my bed, with the curtains closed to hide the light from my soul. Watching horror movies, it gave me comfort. I enjoyed one film in particular so much. I searched for the second instalment, but there wasn't one. I was crushed. I felt so down and annoyed I concluded, why don't I write a movie? I immediately started to plan the plot, and over the next few months, that's exactly what I did. I found a reason to be here. I wanted to create this piece of art that I felt proud of and know that I made. I found it hard to get a job, with pressure from those close to me not understanding my mental health. I couldn't take the pain anymore. I would grab any pills I could find and chuck them down my throat without a second's thought. It hurt, of course, but it made me feel good and I didn't want to stop. The person I lived with didn't understand what I was going through, and I was chucked out of the house and became homeless. Before I felt it hanging over me, pinning me down. It had control until I found help. With support and understanding, I was able to gain back control.
Mental disorders can be controlling, making us feel and do things we would normally not do. We can't always control the mask we wear. It may try convincing us it's pointless asking for help, that we are making it up, not worth helping, or no one will believe us. Always remember, there are places to seek help and support. We don't have to go through this alone, no matter what the soul suckers whisper. We can take back control, and in time, feel like ourselves again.